A woman on horseback tears through the pale light of a Russian summer dawn. She is wearing a green military uniform, a man's uniform, the jacket of a guards officer, cinched tight at the waist, a saber hanging at her side. Her hair is loose, her horse is lathered, and the road beneath her stretches toward St. Petersburg like a fuse. She is not Russian. She has no legal claim to the throne. Her husband, the sitting Emperor of Russia, is alive, awake, and less than 40 miles away. If she reaches the barracks of the Izmailovsky regiment before word of her movements does, she will become the most powerful woman on earth. If she doesn't, she will be remembered, briefly, as a traitor. It is June 28th, 1762, and Catherine has already made her choice. Let's go back. 1744. A 14-year-old girl named Sophie of Anhalt-Zerbst steps off a carriage into the frozen grandeur of the Russian Imperial Court. She is slight, sharp-eyed, and absolutely nobody. Her family is minor aristocracy, respectable enough to be invited, insignificant enough to be disposable. But Sophie understands something that most people twice her age do not. She is being auditioned. Empress Elizabeth of Russia needs a bride for her nephew Peter, the heir to the throne. Sophie is one of several candidates. She will not get a second chance. So she does what no one expects. She throws herself into Russian language lessons. She studies Orthodox theology with an intensity that startles her tutors. And when the day comes, she stands before a cathedral full of Russian clergy and renounces her Lutheran faith, her German name, her former self, all of it. She emerges as Catherine, reborn, Russian, ready. The conversion is not spiritual. It is likely strategic and ideological, and it works. She marries Peter, but the marriage is a catastrophe from the first night. Peter is childish, erratic, obsessed with toy soldiers and Prussian military drills. He parades miniature armies across tabletops while Catherine reads Voltaire in the next room. He takes mistresses openly. She endures it quietly, but she is not passive. She is watching, studying the court, learning who holds real power and why. While Peter plays at war, Catherine is waging a silent, patient campaign for legitimacy. She writes letters to Enlightenment philosophers. She cultivates relationships with military officers, Orthodox bishops, foreign diplomats. She becomes, in the shadows of a hostile court, one of the most politically intelligent people in the building. Then, in January 1762, Empress Elizabeth dies. Peter becomes Emperor Peter III, and everything accelerates toward disaster. Peter governs like a man who has never once considered consequences. He pulls Russia out of the 7 Years' War, surrendering hard-won gains to his personal hero, Frederick the Great of Prussia. He mocks Orthodox rituals. He alienates the Imperial Guard, the very institution that has made and unmade Russian rulers for decades. In 6 months, he manages to offend nearly every power center in the empire simultaneously. Catherine watches this unfold from within the gilded isolation of the Winter Palace, those lavish corridors of marble and malachite, where chandeliers burn above whispered conspiracies. She knows what's coming. She can feel the court tilting beneath her feet. And she is not the only one paying attention. The Orlov brothers Grigory and Alexei, military officers, with ambition, connections, and devotion to Catherine that blurs the line between politics and passion, begin organizing, quietly, carefully, fatally. There is a moment, and we should pause here, when Catherine is not yet an empress, not yet the Great, but simply a woman sitting at a writing desk in a room she might never leave alive. She knows the conspiracy is in motion. She knows that if even one officer talks, one letter is intercepted, one servant is bribed, She will be arrested, executed, most likely, certainly erased. She picks up her pen anyway. This is the detail that separates Catherine from the dozens of other palace conspirators history has forgotten. She doesn't just want power. She has a vision for what power should do. She has read Montesquieu. She has debated legal philosophy with Diderot. She believes, or at least she tells herself she believes, that Russia deserves an enlightened ruler, not a fool playing with toy soldiers, not an emperor who humiliates his own church. Whether this is conviction or justification, she will spend the rest of her life trying to prove. June 28, 1762. Before dawn, Catherine is woken and told the conspiracy has been exposed. An officer has been arrested. There is no more time. She dresses in that green guard's uniform, mounts a horse, and rides. At the Izmailovsky barracks, she dismounts and faces the regiment directly. No intermediary, no proclamation read by a herald. Just a woman in a borrowed uniform, asking soldiers to commit treason. They kneel. Within hours, regiment after regiment swears allegiance. The Semenovsky Guards, the Preobrazhensky Guards, the clergy bless her claim. By midday, Catherine marches into street. Petersburg at the head of thousands of troops. Peter, still at his country palace at Peterhof, receives the news and collapses into indecision. He drafts concessions. He tears them up. He tries to rally support and finds none. Within days, he signs his abdication a broken man in a borrowed room, surrounded by people who no longer pretend to respect him. 8 days later, Peter III is dead. Officially, a hemorrhoidal colic. It is widely believed to have been murder, but never proven. The Orlov brothers were in the room. The whispers begin immediately, and never stop candle-lit rumors that follow Catherine for the rest of her reign, like smoke that won't clear. Catherine dies in November 1796. She is 67. She dies in power, not deposed, not exiled, not assassinated. That alone is remarkable for a Russian ruler. But what she leaves behind is not a simple triumph. It's a question. Can you modernize an empire without freeing its people? Can you read Voltaire at your desk in the morning and sign decrees that bind millions to the land by afternoon? Can you be both enlightened and absolute? Catherine believed you could. History is still deciding whether she was right. What she proved beyond doubt is this: that legitimacy can be built through preparation, perception, and timing, not just birthright. That power favors those who act decisively when the moment comes. Hesitation is more dangerous than risk. And that vision must face. Reality ideas alone don't change systems unless you're willing to confront their consequences. Whether that makes her a hero or something else entirely depends on whose story you think Russia belongs to. Thanks for watching. If this story stayed with you, subscribe. We tell stories like this every week. Drop a comment. Was Catherine a visionary or a contradiction that history was too impressed to challenge? We'll see you in the next one.